So what we're going to work on today are methods of entering into the mental astral matrix to open it up. And this is more for training intrinsic energies work as well as all the other hermetic work. All right, so when you, where's Dinesh? Can I borrow you, Dinesh? When you touch a person's base and you get a reaction between the foot and your point of contact, you get a certain amount of tension. And different personality types have an unconscious protection as to how easily you can get into the matrices or not. When you touch the base, you get a sense of, no, this person's not letting me in, or they are letting you in. And to increase the ease to get in, you need to get a more reaction between the point of contact and the ground. So one exercise is for me to lift my arm up and then push my body weight down. Now they have to push back on it. Now as they push back, it activates all the muscles and it gives me a different line. So as soon as I do this exercise here where I push down and push my body weight off, I'm forcing him to resist and give me the line. Now, as I push down, I feel that, then I have something I can relax. So we can train using Sung as the primary line for emptying. So we find the line, we stimulate the tensions in our partner's body, and we push ourselves off them, and then we start to push ourselves off. So I'm floating, and then you relax out. And this way it allows you to break the rule that I'm not grounding and becoming more grounded than him to catch him. It's just the mind catching the tension across the matrix. So it's just pure Sung as your first method I want you to train. The second method is we press down, and then we press down and we pull the mental body up in the opposite direction to where we're pressing down. So we touch the base, and now here I'm magnetically pulling him up. So I'm reversing that energetic line, and that gives more openness. So the touching the base, Sung down, touch the base, magnetic in my body to what I feel and connected to withdraw and open. The second method is releasing space. So I touch down, I open up his field in all directions, and notice the reaction there was different to the other reactions. So I'm just opening the space up. Notice that when I'm touching here, I'm just touching with 2 fingers because that's enough for me to support my sensitivity. Once that sensitivity is up, you pull that away and just use this for listening. But here it's really important to get this bridge and to feel in. So we've got sunging the line, got magnetic pulling up the line, and we've got releasing the space. From there, we touch down onto the base and you pull out a particular part of the body. So from here I was going to his Ming Men, elbow area, and I was just sweeping the energy out. So touch down, pull back slightly, and then run the energy there. And by levering underneath, I can drive and pull the energy. So here I'm taking it that way, and taking it the other way. Yep, and there, plucking that point, and just stretching the matrices out. And so forth. So wherever you're in, here I was just pulling his belly out across this line, because this is the most open parts of his body. So you're just basically stretching the mental body and the space out through the different gaps. Your next method is you touch the base, you just relax everything open a little bit, and then you send vital energy through and down and sink the vital energy. Literally use a sinking energy. And you just sink vitality downwards. And then we go through the elements. So you do polarities, air and earth, magnetic, electric, and then and you train all the elements. So you find a door in, how to get in, open the matrices. Pure sung first, because sung amplifies all the other methods that you're going to use, so just total relaxation into your partner's line of tension. And then once you've got that, then start playing, okay, I'll do all the element methods, I'll expand the mental body. You can do first transformation. What's that? Slowing down time. Just enter into his astral body. Notice the reaction's different to the others. So I find the base, it gives me a tension line, and you do the first transformation. Now, second transformation, it starts shifting it a little bit again. Push down, and then you run Akasha through the same pattern, and light is reacting more down with him, because I'm running it from his crown down to his feet. So once you have those doors open, the reason why this position is good is because it forces him to fight me so my hand doesn't hit his head. He has to give me tension for me to work with, give me something to work with. So the reason I don't normally teach this is you have 50% failure rate in a workshop. Half the people who do it can't do it because it's a bit more advanced. So if I do this exercise, I'll leave it towards the end of the workshop, and I'll leave it out if I know certain people are going to fail, because it generates a type of frustration. They can do it, but I can't do it. Why? And the self-image of the student really crashes on this one. So if I know everyone's going to get this, then I'll make it the first exercise they learn, because you get good at this, everything's easy, because it's mind. You can't push your way through on this one. Let's say if you look at any other exercise, you can touch a person's base, become more grounded than them, and push them over. You can mechanically beat them. With this, you can't mechanically beat them. It's just the nature of the exercise, so you have to do it correctly. You have to find the lines of tension, you have to pull back and empty, and you're not using heavy hands on this. You're not pushing on the person. You're touching, there's the tension line, there's the peak yang, now let's make it yin. Let's relax and release it. So this doorway to training, if you're teaching a workshop and you go, yep, this person can get it, you might just pull them aside and give them this exercise and let other people do other exercises. What's important is whatever you give them, the higher the percentage success they have, the next exercise is going to be easier and easier and easier and easier, and they're going to get the skills. If you teach it to a group of, let's say, 30 people, the number of people that don't get it are going to ruin the vibe in the room for the people who do. And then there's a type of unconscious resistance that forms within them after their first failure. So this sensitivity to success and how to give people compounding success within each exercise, it's an interesting balance. If it's too easy, they go, this is nonsense. If they can't do it, they go, I shouldn't have come. So you end up with these two ends of the spectrum that are a negative for their learning. And there's a sensitivity. Where do you get the person in the middle so that they, yep, I can do this, I can feel this, it makes sense, they can intellectually work it out, they can mechanically do it, get a result, and compound success in their internal skill. So this is one that appears unbelievable if you give it to a person too soon, because all they're doing is relaxing through someone and the person's falling over. So their mind is going to go, this is auto-suggestion. And then they start building doubt, even though they're succeeding. So you're not allowed to let people trick themselves. And don't let yourself be tricked as well. You want to look, why is this working? And sometimes it is auto-suggestion. And then you go, is it that? So let's say if you float an Aikido guy and he does a dive roll, he's been auto-suggested into dive rolling because you didn't make him dive roll. He did. So his past behavioral conditioning has set his body up to react in that type of way. Same as different Tai Chi people have these different hopping behavior patterns in their body. And with this, every time you change the energy, you change the signature of the person's reaction, how they react. So if it's magnetic, very different to electric. If it's air and earth, very different. Vital sinking is a little bit different to earth element sinking. So you'll notice that the feeling of the way it catches the points in the body is different inside the person. And they're both sinking, but they're caused by a different thing. And air element sinking is different to those as well. So you send air element down, and you'll find the catch points inside the body are very different to air element, to earth or vital for when you sink. So when you use the term sinking energy, you can create the visual thing of a person sinking with a whole range of different energies. You can magnetically pull them down, and then it's a different reaction again. Okay, so start with this exercise, and I want you to keep doing this for at least a week, all day, every day, until you really master it. And then as you're doing this exercise and then you jump back to another Fajin exercise, you'll notice that, oh, it's so much easier now. Because what happens is the intention in your body disappears and the mental quality increases. Because this is mind. You have to do it with mind, energy, body reaction to make it work. You can't do it mechanically, I'm going to push this person into the ground. You can do most of the other exercises mechanically. So this generates a pure internal skill. Once you're here.
Just in terms of success and failure, how would you influence someone who empties out? Because I've experienced that.
Well, here, if they empty out, they're going to get sledgehammered on the head.
Okay, so
you have to push on them, make them stop you, and then push yourself off their base. I'm 128 kilos. They need a lot of strength to stop my 128 kilos from sledgehammering them. So they'll go, ah, okay. You know, Dinesh is very strong, so he can do it easily. But other people, you bring them to the buckling point of putting your weight down, and then run the song through it. You get the energy to rise, and then you sink through it. And what you don't want to do is someone touches you and they're singing down, just sledgehammer them on the head until they don't. And that's why this exercise is so good, because it makes the feeder feed. They have no choice. With the other exercises, that people can cheat and ground and be empty and do the Tai Chi jelly body thing. Where with this one they can't. It's a perfect, I have to stop that from hitting me, and the act of doing that and the muscle involvement and the tension, it gives you a line to their foot, it gives you the tension to release, it makes you feel them and so forth. As soon as you have this basic principle of Sung opening the doors, start writing down on your journal how to open more doors. Does vital energy open the door? Magnetic is the biggest door opener usually. You go magnetic and everything goes, rips open. There's a way, there's a way, there's a way. And you find all the mechanical levers, the joints, as doorways into the person's energy system. Normally when you touch someone, their shoulder tensions become, there's a gap through the shoulder, there's a gap in their back, they've got a lot of tension there, and you tune gaps in the line. This gives you an instant line to the base, and by training this, it's opposite to gaps in the line like Tai Chi. You're going, this is the strongest line, I'm going to take the center of it. The center of tension, their strongest position, is what I'm going to empty out. So that makes you really good. If you're always looking for gaps on the flank and around the sides of the joints, then when you find someone that's got none, then you're in trouble. Where if you just train, I'll take their strongest and empty it, then from there everything else is easier. All those other gaps just appear much more simpler. The pushing in and pulling out with the magnetic, that's the easiest. So if you're teaching this and you see someone struggling with it, say, okay, push in and then pluck their balance, see how they're open now run the sung. So magnetic and then sung, instead of just push and then release and sung. The pullback, it quadruples the ease with which you can do the exercise. And if you get the person who's holding you to grab your arm a little bit, and what that does is gives you something to pull on so the balance comes out when they're pushing. And then put the song through it and then sink it down. That also helps, because by them holding slightly with their fingers, you're allowing that mechanical lever to pull their balance in the direction that they're pushing. What you don't want is someone to grab and squeeze in. You want them to push away to get the electric reaction. If they grab your arm and hang on it, that would be taking them to a neutral, dead-weighted force and tension in their body, which reduce the reactivity of how this works. So you push on them, you feed, you bounce yourself off. By transferring weight and stretching down onto their base at least 3 times, you're in a place in which this is going to work really, really easily. That sets up the preconditions for the sung. So peak yang inside their body, and then you practice peak yin, peak sung. Just release, 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 release the line. And repeat that one until everything's open. And then, how do I do this element, that element, that element? Go through all the 4 elements, vital energy, using akasha, light going into them, light expanding, do the first transformation, second, third transformation, all from this one exercise. If you get good at this exercise, all the other ones become easy, because it's sort of like a basic marker for your mind to work with energy and enter a person's energy system. If you do another exercise and you can't do it after this one, it's usually because this one gives you peak tension, it gives you the line, and then it practices to empty it. Other exercises, the person doesn't give you a peak line. They may not be feeding properly at all. So then you've got to go, you know how to make them feed, find the tension, and then release. Now, interestingly enough, you don't need the person to feed you. You need to be in them to be in a state of tension in which they would feed. That's why they feed. It's not that you want them to give center and push themselves off you necessarily. It's you want them to be in the state in which they do that. You need tension to react to for the energy to ping them away. So this really, really teaches you what you're looking for within your training partner. Okay, any questions on this, please ask, and we'll jump straight in. Maybe outside will be better because it's so hot in here today. All right, have fun everyone, thank you.